Hey guys, today the topic is going to be fibromyalgia. So fibromyalgia is a disease of the mitochondria. What does the mitochondria do? They are the little batteries inside each cell, and we have more than one in each cell. And they are responsible mainly for two things. One, they generate energy. So they generate ATP, which is the energy currency of all of our cells. They also metabolize nutrients. So they transform the nutrients into energy, so they can make ketone bodies, for example, which is another energy currency. And they detoxify, so they metabolize substances to excrete them. So they can detoxify everything, medicine, xenobiotics, pesticides, herbicides, good things and bad things, caffeine. They detoxify everything. So in these people, these mitochondria are not able to produce a lot of energy, and they're not able to detoxify well. So these people have a lack of energy. They are very intoxicated, and so they don't have focus. They have a lot of brain fog because of all that, and they tend to wake up very swollen in their fingers, so they're like not able to put on rings, or their feet are swollen, and they have a lot of brain fog in the morning. And that is because during the night we're supposed to be detoxifying, and these people don't sleep well, and they don't detoxify well, so they wake up intoxicated and swollen. And the body's response to not being able to get rid of toxins is to dilute it, and the way it dilutes it is to retain liquid. And why don't these people sleep well? Well, they have very low serotonin. And serotonin, one, is the happiness hormone, so these people tend to be depressed. But also it's the precursor of melatonin, and melatonin is the sleep hormone. So these people tend to have very interrupted sleep. And they also tend to have very high cortisol at night, which is the opposite of what we want. We want to have a very high cortisol 1 hour after we wake up, very high in the morning, and then it starts dwindling down until it bottoms out in the night. And these people usually have it flipped, and there's ways to test for this. You can do a saliva 4-point test for cortisol. So thinking of these causes, so they have mitochondrial issues, right? They have serotonin issues, and these people have dysbiosis. So a study looked at participants that had fibromyalgia. 100% of them had dysbiosis. Only 20% of the control group had dysbiosis. So there's definitely something wrong with the intestines of these people regarding the bacteria. So they either have too little of the good guys, or not enough variety of the good guys, or they have too much of the bad guys, or they just have a combination of the two in some form. So we went to work balancing their dysbiosis, fixing that, supporting their mitochondria, and supporting their serotonin levels. So knowing the cause, the mechanism of the disease, is how we're going to treat these people. So traditional medical treatment for fibromyalgia, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, is antidepressants, either an anxiety medicine, a pain medicine, and sometimes a sleep medicine. I don't think that there's anything else that conventional doctors are doing for these people. And so we have to step back and think, well, what is causing this, right? What is the mechanism driving this disease? It is mitochondrial disease, it is a low serotonin, and it is a dysbiosis problem. And we can work with these three things, right? And how do we do that? Well, diet, lifestyle, stress management, some supplements. So let's start with the ideal day of a person that has fibromyalgia. So they're going to wake up, and they're going to first and foremost manage their stress right from the get-go. So meditation, prayer, reading the Bible, reading a book, intentions, journaling, I don't care. Do that a little bit to activate your parasympathetic, calm yourself down, and not stress that mitochondria. So stress stresses the mitochondria. Too much exercise stresses the mitochondria. So these people have to exercise very moderately. They have to exercise every single day, but very, very lightly. Stretching, yoga, tai chi, a walk, or some kind of swimming, or some very light dancing, something that's very soothing, okay? What else stresses the mitochondria? Very long fasts stress the mitochondria. I'm not talking about that 12-hour break. That's not a fast, but very long fasts do stress the mitochondria. And just regular stress. So watching TV with very bad news, with murders, with rapes, with violence. These people want to shield their energy. They already have very little of it. So shield your energy. Shield your energy from people that drain your energy. Shield your energy from TV programs and news and stuff that drain your energy, okay? So be mindful of that. The other thing is, so they woke up, they activated their parasympathetic either by breathing, all those. Then they want to look at the sun because they have a cortisol issue, right? They have an imbalance of their circadian rhythm. They're not sleeping well, and they have a flipped cortisol curve. So you want to expose your eyes to sunlight in the morning. You do not want to wear these until maybe noon-ish, 11 noon, because you do want that blue light coming from the sun activating the centers of your brain that say, look, it's daytime, let's go. And the cortisol will give you more energy. You want to have more energy in the morning and not at night, which is what usually happens to these people. They're wired at night. Then you want to have a breakfast that is very detoxifying, that gives your mitochondria and your intestines good fibers to feed the good bacteria and compounds that help you detoxify. So a green juice is a great option. So you would have a fruit in there, you would have plenty of leaves, dark leafy greens, some spices, so turmeric, ginger, curcumin, which is turmeric, rosemary, I meant cumin. Rosemary, cilantro, and all those. So some kind of spice. You can add a cucumber in there. Cucumbers are very detoxifying, very cleansing. And then you just blend it up, put some protein in there. Have a protein breakfast because protein in the breakfast helps spike your cortisol as well. You do not want to have coffee in the first hours of the morning. I am so sorry, but you should not because cortisol is plummeted when you have coffee. Caffeine makes cortisol go down. So if you do really, really, really want to have your coffee, ideally you would take it out until you're feeling better from your fibromyalgia. But if you really, really want to have it, do not have it in the first 3 hours after you woke up. Have it later in the day a little bit. Obviously not as late as 2 o'clock. Stop at 2 p.m. so that you don't disrupt your sleep, because then that's another thing. So then you want to do your work, your study, whatever, but then you want to have a pause. So during the day, you want to have a pause between 2 and 6 o'clock, 2 p.m. and 6 p.m., which is the Vata time, which is when we tend to get a little antsy, a little anxious, and you want to do a breathing technique or a little bit of yoga or a little bit of journaling or a little bit of reading, something to calm you down, or coloring, something that will calm your brain down, okay, and activate your parasympathetic. So abdominal breathing is excellent for these people. You want to have tea 3 times a day. Tea is medicine. Tea will do 2 things. It will give you prebiotics for treating your dysbiosis, so it will help balance your gut. It will also give your mitochondria the substrate that it needs to detoxify. So tea is medicine 3 times a day for fibromyalgia. Any kind of tea really, but more detoxifying ones are rosemary, dandelion, what else? Oregano is good too. But really, any digestive tea, ginger, it really doesn't matter as long as you're having tea, not black tea. Green tea is good. So then you want to have your dinner very early. So as early as you can, ideally 6, 7 p.m. So that gives you 3 hours before bed to kind of digest all that and then give your body enough space to detoxify during the night. You also want to have that power down hour, to protect your sleep as much as you can, not be in screens late at night, not be listening to stimulating things in the news and the TV, even on your AirPods or whatever. Nothing very stimulating at night. Doing foot soaks that help, pull out with Epsom salts and pull out toxins. These people do tend to be very intoxicated, and you do not want to intoxicate, right? So you want a good air filter at home, you want a good water filter, you want your food to be as clean as possible, so organic as much as you can. You want your personal health care products not to be intoxicating you, because we do absorb everything in our skin. It goes straight to your bloodstream, doesn't even pass in the liver for the first pass. It goes, so your mitochondria has to deal with that. So definitely change that. You want to be giving yourself tryptophan all through the day. Tryptophan is an amino acid that is a precursor for serotonin, and you want to be getting that via food and not via supplement. And the reason for that is because when you give too much of it in a supplement form and you're very stressed, which is, these people tend to be, instead of tryptophan going down the pathway to form serotonin, it can go alternative pathways and form compounds that are not good for you. So, and this is in a situation of stress that this happens. So you want to be getting tryptophan from your diet. So bananas, oats, quinoa, pumpkin seeds, not sesame seeds, the other one, sunflower seeds. Almonds have a lot of tryptophan. Kiwi and cherries do have a lot of tryptophan. And chicken also, and turkey. So you want to have at least one source of that at every meal to be supporting your serotonin. Also, exercise helps with the serotonin. Things that have been proven in studies to help with fibromyalgia are therapeutic massages, chiropractor, because these really unblock channels of energy, your lymph, your detoxifying pathways. It really moves things along, so that really helps, and it has been proven in studies to help. So definitely you can try acupuncture, yoga as well, has been shown to help. So you also want to do some diaphragmatic breathing for 3 minutes, 3 times a day. So whenever you take those breaks, really breathe in with your belly, really expanding your belly, doing that, especially in the evening before bed. That would be excellent. And then there are plenty of supplements that help these people, supplements that people with fibromyalgia should actually be on kind of like for the lifetime, which is supporting the mitochondria. So carnitine, creatine, CoQ10, some omega-3s, because that's very anti-inflammatory. Curcumin could help as well with the inflammation. So these people are very inflamed, so they're in a lot of pain, and because they don't sleep, they never get rid of the inflammation. Because they have dysbiosis, they never get rid of the inflammation. So how do you know that you have dysbiosis? Well, you're bloated all the time, you're so gassy. Every time you eat, regardless of what you eat, you're gassy. You alternate with constipation or diarrhea. You have skin issues, so acne, eczema, and stuff like that. What else? Brain fog also presents with dysbiosis, but pretty much that is it. So we want to, in a nutshell, really manage that stress, protect your energy, give your mitochondria and your intestines enough good things, so fruits, veggies, good quality meats if you eat meats. A lot of roots in your diet, because that is very detoxifying as well. So cutting down on the sugars, because that's very stressful to the mitochondria. Cutting down on the processed food, because that has a lot of additives, a lot of preservatives that your mitochondria has to deal with. So it's in general really trying to tone down your stress and eating as clean as you can, and trying to protect your energy and your sleep as much as you can to optimize your detoxifying pathways.